she's back and ready to rumble. I'm gonna be asking her deep questions, and these are ones that are also kind of inspiring, but they're deep at the same time.
I don't know what she's going to be asking me, guys.
Yeah.
Actually, give me 1 second to put these headphones on because it puts me in the zone.
Yeah, the ASMR zone. You have to hear it to be it.
There we go.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Okay.
It's so crisp. I just feel like I'm transported into another dimension.
Yeah, and you're listening to what they're listening to.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited and also nervous because I have no idea what these questions are gonna be, and I'm going to just answer them as truthfully as I can.
Yeah, I like that you don't know because it makes more honest.
Yeah.
You didn't have time to think about it.
No time to overthink.
Yeah, overthink. Yeah, they're pretty deep. I'll do a little tapping. Your nails, I wish I had them because you're great. If you haven't yet, go check out the video for trying ASMR. It's very good. Alright.
Yeah, guys, real quick with my nails, I went to the salon and I couldn't decide whether I wanted a light pink or a dark pink, bright pink. So I just went with both.
I love both. It's a look. I love it.
Thanks.
Alright. So, these are questions real quick. I'm gonna let you just know that they're more, you can take time to answer. So I didn't put quantity, I put quality in the questions, okay?
Okay, how many questions do we got?
Oh, I didn't put numbers.
No numbers, okay.
Maybe
We're
like
just gonna
10.
flow it.
10. Because usually you can, take a while to answer on these. Alright, ready?
Ready.
The first ones are basics. So, what is your age?
I am 22 years old
Okay.
at the time of filming.
And your name's Rally. I introduced that.
Yes. Rosa.
Rosa. Do you want to explain what that means?
Yes, so my name is actually Racheli. It's a Hebrew name. But my name online is Rosa, which is Hazohar backwards. And Hazohar is the name of an ancient text in an ancient mysticism called Kabbalah, which is something that I grew up studying, which I'm sure will be in the questions, so I'm gonna wait for that one.
Yeah, it is. That's a great transition, though. But,
do you want to know my birthday too?
yeah, I was gonna say, what's your birthday and zodiac sign?
Okay. I'm an Aquarius sun. My birthday is January 23rd, 2000. And
You can say your sun, moon, and rising.
so my sun is Aquarius, my moon is Virgo, and I'm a Capricorn rising.
I love that. So that's Capricorn, Earth, and then air,
And
Aquarius.
2 earths and an air. I feel like it balances each other out pretty well.
Yeah, I have a lot of Earth. Do you have a lot of Earth in your chart? Or what's your main elements?
Earth and air.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Earth. I have no water, which is crazy.
Yeah, I have no water and I can tell.
I can't tell,
But
I feel like I should.
I feel like I should have fire. And yeah, I feel like you should have water because you're pretty emotional.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
Passion,
I
motivation.
mean, I have emotions, but like,
Yeah. You have a lot of passion.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very fiery, like,
Yeah.
impulsive, kind of. Sometimes go for what I want, like ambitious type of fiery.
Which we're gonna be getting to some little fiery urine elements.
Be patient.
I love that. Okay, and then this isn't on the list, but where do you live for the viewers?
I full time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always traveling, but
Jeez.
currently living in Toronto, Canada.
Love that.
Grew up there.
I need to visit.
Yes, you do.
Alright, and what do you do? So what do you do and what do you do?
I am a certified life coach, spiritual coach for women.
I love that.
And I've been doing that for about a year now, and I love it. Very fulfilling job.
I was her beta client, so like the beginning, and she really helped me so much. Like, I actually told them right after you coached me, I started this ASMR channel.
Oh, you told them?
Yeah, it was a year ago. Well, I don't remember like in what video or anything. I have too many. But yeah, I started right after your coaching.
So basically, you're all here because of me.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So you need to thank her. You need to thank her. So, what are your passions? Actually, don't say that yet. What did you want to be when you were younger?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher and a singer. So just to name the ones that like pop into my head, well, number one is spirituality, because I feel like spirituality is a really big part of who I am and my essence, and I want to say like my personality in a sense. Like, just I'm a very deep person, very deep thoughts about life, and just always wanting to like improve myself and be a better version of myself. So I'm very passionate about spirituality, self-growth.
Love that.
And sorry, I'm not looking at you, by the way. I'm
it's
trying to face the microphone.
It's okay. I'm looking at both.
True. Okay. Another passion I have is singing. I love to sing.
She is so good.
Thank you.
Maybe you can give us a little.
I don't know how to sing in ASMR.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah. So yeah, I love singing. I like to paint. I really love anything to do with like just flowing. You know, I love to flow. I like meditating. I love working out, like going to the gym. It's like my favorite part of my day.
Yeah. She forced me to go through, getting me motivated.
Yeah.
Igniting my fire. And anything else? That's a lot though. That's all the creative energies.
Yeah.
And like, you are very motivated. And I feel all about evolution and growth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And like, I feel like my passions are always changing, but.
Yeah, that's true. Like, they come in waves, like different waves.
But those are like the main ones. I also like to design and like, you know,
Very
create
good.
websites and stuff like that. I feel like just anything like creative.
Yeah.
I like to explore and just.
And anything under the spiritual category too.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like tarot and stuff.
Yeah.
Like little
I feel like I'm
tiny
very
things.
open-minded to many different mediums and just like learning more. Like, I'm very interested in just constantly knowing more. Like, I never like hear things and I'm like, facts. Like, I take it as a fact. Like, no, I like to know why we are the way we are, and like,
I love that.
just learn more about life.
Like the behind the scenes of life.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. So with that being said, what does spiritual mean to you?
Oh, that's a really good question. I love that. Okay, so I really think that spirituality means different things to different people. But I guess to sum it up, what it means to me is spirituality is getting to know yourself deeply and what is life to you.
I love that.
It's exploring like the deeper aspects of yourself, like recognizing that we're not just our physical bodies, we're not just humans, that we have deeper levels to ourselves, that we have a soul, that there are forces outside of our control that are present in our lives. And also, to me, spirituality is constantly just learning more about yourself and about life. That being said, I don't believe that like everybody's path is to like study this stuff and like be spiritual, like, you know, dedicate themselves to it. I don't believe that at all. I think everyone has like their passions and their purpose for a reason. But I do believe that we're all spiritual beings having a human experience.
That's cool. I love that.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just, you know, accepting of like where everyone is on their journey. And I feel like just like seeing more perspectives, and just the more you learn, the more your mind opens up to being able to see the more truths than just like, you know, what you're told or you're conditioned, you know. It's like just seeing past certain illusions. And only you can really, you know, discern for yourself what those things are. You know, I'm just kind of like learning it for myself as I go.
And it's like that sounds like it's an onion and you're just peeling back constant layers of life of yourself. And that's like the essence of life.
And there's constantly just more to learn and know, and it's like you think you know things and then there's more. Always.
I also think it's the ability to say that we don't know really anything. Because there's so much that we don't know.
And of course there's like so many levels to like what does spiritual mean. I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions, you know, like just so many things. As well, you know, meditation's like a big part of my practice, and
that's cool.
You know, just I really think it's okay. I know I went on and on, but
keep going.
I really think to like sum it up, I think spirituality is getting answers from within yourself rather than from the outside world.
I
because
love that. That's a simple way to put it.
Because I ourselves. Like, we are made of the same, like, essence and energy of, like, the universe. You know, we come from the universe. We are children of the universe.
Yeah.
We have that
energy within us.
energy, depth, you know,
Yeah.
capacity, potential within us to dive into it. It's just about our desire and how much do we want to explore that, because it's within us.
Yeah. I loved that. That was such a flow too. Like, that was just channeled. Like, that is what it is. I also think a big part of that with, like, it's kind of the same thing. Just experiencing all there is to life. All there is to yourself as well.
Yeah.
Just, you always say, like, just exist.
Yeah.
Just be.
That's my favorite thing to say.
Yeah, she's really, like, you can be in any mood, anything. Just be.
Yeah.
Just don't judge it.
However you are is okay in this
Yeah.
moment. Like, me and my friends, you know, Haley and my other friends, we are very communicative about, you know, everything. And, you know, whenever we're going through anything in our lives, we just allow each other, we just hold space for each other to process and to go through whatever it is that's coming up for us. And we just say, like, it's okay to exist as yourself. Like, you don't have to be anything, you don't have to change, you don't have to, you know, anything like that. So
Yeah.
that's very important as well.
I love that about all of you. Like, it's so comforting. It's a safe space.
Yes,
You're a
it
safe
is.
space.
You do.
So cute. Water break. Oh, sorry.
Great. I'm gonna be drinking some water.
Love that. I love lid sounds. Jeez.
Is that too
That was a gulp. No, that was perfect. I'm just watching.
I'm trying to, like, not make it too loud, but I just feel like it sounds weird.
Mine's pretty. Mine's like really.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, I liked it. I love lid sounds. So nice. Okay. So,
Next question.
yeah, and it's perfect because what started you on your spiritual journey? Right after you gave the definition of, like, you know, your perspective of spirituality. What started you on this?
Love that question. So,
I'm ready. I'm ready for
listen close. No. So I feel like I've always had that side of me, like, deep within me. Most of my life, like, even when I was, like, a young kid, I always just, like, felt different. Like, I felt like I saw life differently, and, like, you know, people got caught up in, like, material things and, like, just, like, drama and, you know, whatever. And, like, I always just thought it was, like, weird. Like, human stuff was just weird. Like, being a human is weird. And, like, even when I was young, I remember, like, being conscious of that I was, like, different and weird.
Yeah.
And
Was
so,
it, like, really young too?
Yeah, like, really young. Like, I don't know, like 8, like 6, 7, 8. And, like, YouTube first came out when I was, like, 8 years old. And I remember, like, right when YouTube came out, I would search up, like, near-death experiences and, like, past life experiences. Like, yeah, like, I was interested in that kind of stuff, like, super young. Like, I always just felt, like, called to it. And I don't, like, consciously remember having any type of experience like that.
Yeah.
But I do just remember just being super fascinated and, like, always wanting to learn more. And, like, this was, like, back when, you know, there wasn't that much content on this kind of stuff on YouTube. But, like, regardless, I was still searching it up and learning what I could, and about psychics and about, you know, whatever. Just like, being curious, you know, a curious kid learning about, like, what is life, what is happening, you know, and, like,
That's
just, like,
crazy.
discerning that for myself. And then alongside that, my parents studied this ancient mysticism called Kabbalah, which I was speaking about earlier, which is based on the Old Testament, and it's basically like a decoding of the Old Testament or Bible, and they've been studying that for like 30 years.
That's a long time. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's fairly, it's not a new teaching at all. It's an ancient spiritual mysticism.
Yeah.
However, it only in the past, like, 50 years became open and available for the public to, you know, start studying, like,
15
legally.
years. 15.
50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
something like that. Yeah. So it was, like, you know, not a very common, and it's still not that common. I mean, it's definitely growing and growing, which is, like, really nice.
I didn't hear of it until you. Sorry.
Yeah. And just, like, another side note is, like, about just spiritual teachings in general, is that I've same things, just in different words, in different ways.
Yeah.
So, you know, I find that, like, I do study Kabbalah, but as well, I also, you know, I have different, I'm very open-minded to, like, different teachings as well, and just constantly, like, wanting to, like, expand my, like,
knowledge
and wisdom, and just hearing different ways of life and people's experiences and all that. Like, I'm just literally a nerd for that, that kind of stuff.
It's all black and white. Everything's just very, like, you're very open to it.
Like, everyone has different perspectives, and, like, who am I to say, like, this is the way? Like,
Yeah,
no,
this is right or wrong. Yeah.
yeah, it just is. And, like, life, people just do what works for them, and, like, that's perfect. And, like, that's really, like, what the work that I do as well, like, with my life coaching and everything, is, like, getting people not, like, pushing any type of, you know, what's the word, like, not
Any type
propaganda,
of belief or
like,
pushing any beliefs.
yeah, not, like, pushing any, like, beliefs onto anyone. It's more like going within yourself, like, what do you resonate to, what helps you in your life, you know? I feel like that's the most important thing, like, what makes you be the best version of yourself, and then following that.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is so nice. And also, like, I heard a thing before, it reminded me of what you said, like, religion and everything is like, or God, actually, I meant God, universe, source. It's like one thing, but we're all looking at different perspectives of that one thing. All religion is like a different viewpoint of the same thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you can have different beliefs, different perspectives, forms, religions, whatever. But it's like ultimately that underlying, there's a great higher power. And there's like different ways of accessing it.
Yeah, it's like different little clues left all around, and, like, people find their way back to that same, you know, force in whatever terminology they use, or, like, whatever gets them there, you know. But it just all leads back to this truth, you know, the central truth. So if I can add one more thing, I would say that I was not, just because I said, you know, I was interested in this at a young age, like, I was not, like, always following that, you know, passion of mine. For the first, like, 18 years of my life, 19 years, I completely, like, suppressed that side of me, because I went to, like, a normal high school, I had normal friends, you know, like, party, drank, did all the things, you know. So I just shoved that part of me aside, because, you know, most people I found were not really deep thinkers like that. It was just very surface level, you know, just life, you know, life happens. So, you know, I suppressed that side of me, and then, you know, I hit a breaking point when I turned 19 years old, and what happened was, like, things in my life were just falling apart, crashing. I was just at rock bottom. I ended up dropping out of my university at the time, moving to LA for 6 months, going to the Kabbalah Center in LA, and
how often did you go? Do you mind me asking?
To the Kabbalah Center?
Yeah.
Well, I stayed, like, in the area, so I was like, I went to classes, and I did all the activities that they all the activities that they held there at the Kabbalah Center. So I just really, like, that's when my spiritual journey in my adult years really started. I just started learning more, and actually that's, like, right around the time that you and I began becoming friends, because that's when I started on YouTube.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how we met, by the way.
Yeah,
like through YouTube.
Yeah.
Not through my ASMR, my old channel.
Yeah. We both had, like, spiritual related YouTube channels, and we, like, connected, and 2 years later,
here we are.
Who would have known we'd be this close?
Literally.
It's crazy.
I love that. I love your journey, truly. It's so interesting, especially being born into spirituality and, like, feeling like spirituality is a magnet and it's pulling you.
Yes,
like,
it's interesting.
That is crazy.
Yeah, because
lives,
you guys can ask my parents. Maybe they'll come on this podcast one day.
Oh, I love that.
You know, I rebelled against it. I was not this spiritual girl. Like, you know, if you would have asked them at 18, you know, that at 20 I would be like the person that I became.
Yeah.
You know, or at 20, I'm 22 now. You know, like they would be shocked, and I'm sure, you know, it was like a gradual transition, but it was drastic. You know.
That's crazy. I would love to know that old part of you, like that old self.
Maybe not.
That's funny. But that, like, shows where you are today. Like, she is so much, she can connect with, like, anyone, honestly. Like, you have stories, you have, like, so much to offer to people as well. That's why I think she's a good coach, because she can, like, really relate to people and, like, put it in these higher perspectives, and you get channeled often. Like, it's crazy. Her intuition's crazy. Oh, I almost dropped my phone. lesson that you've learned from it that like impacts you?
Yeah. So, of course, there are, unlimited amounts of teachings and depth in Kabbalah and any spiritual teaching.
Yeah.
But when you said that, the first thing that came to mind, I'll just say the first thing that came to mind, is the concept that we all come into this earth with something called a tikkun, or it's like a correction or baggage.
Yeah.
And basically, nobody comes into this earth as a perfect human being.
Very true.
Do you know a perfect human being? You can comment down below if you think you know one. But like, humans are just not, we all have shit. We all have baggage.
Yeah.
And Kabbalah explains like that is a part of being human. That is why we came down to this earth we all have a correction. Our soul has something that it needs to correct about itself. So we will come into this earth with baggage, with things that, right away when we're born, we are faced with these challenges, and that is what shapes our correction, what we need to overcome. So Kabbalah kind of teaches how to, identify what those things are, what your tikkun is, what your correction is, because if you do not work on that correction, it's going to cycle and it's going to repeat and it's going to keep coming up for you in your life. You're going to attract the same boyfriend, same ex, but like with a different face, with a different name. You're going to attract the same type of friendships. You're going to ask yourself, like, why do I keep attracting these type of people or this kind of situation? It's because that's probably a part of your correction. So that concept, is like a really big one that just, constantly keeps coming back. We have corrections with people, we have corrections with ourselves, with our mindsets, like, just like different levels, and there's always more too.
Do we have multiple corrections?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I thought it was like one main one and that's it.
There is probably like one main one.
Yeah, like a big one.
Like what's like the biggest theme in your life, but then like even that you can overcome that, and then like there's always a next level,
Interesting.
And I know this is kind of deep, and I don't know.
No, it's called.
So the next thing I'm gonna say.
Okay, do it. Say it.
But I'm just gonna go there, because I feel like, I don't know, whenever I feel called to say something, I just feel like saying it. So Kabbalah teaches like when somebody leaves this physical world, it's because they either already finished their correction, like they already did everything that their soul came here to do, or there is no way for this soul to correct what it came here to correct, like it's too late, or whatever the higher power reason is. But that is what Kabbalah says.
That's interesting.
That once you do your correction, or once you cannot do your correction, there's no longer a purpose or a need for that soul to be incarnated as a human.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder why it can't do it anymore. The second part. Like if you already did it, you go to the next.
Like why people can't.
Yeah, like why? I wonder why. That's interesting. That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not God.
I guess like there's a higher level to that.
There's like bigger picture that we can't see.
Yeah. I love that concept so much. I bet so many people are getting value from that as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember hearing about it in the Kabbalah one, because she got me into it. It's so magical.
Maybe you can leave it in the description if anyone's curious.
Yeah, I'm so down. So description below.
Which, by the way, like, not connected in any way. Like, we're sponsored to them.
Yeah.
It's just
for value.
Yeah.
Alright, that was amazing. I guess, okay, this is kind of general. What are the biggest lessons you've ever learned in life? What's like, I guess, one big lesson you've learned in life? Actually, can we keep that for last?
Okay, I'll think about it.
Sorry, because I want to combine it with my last question, which will top it off really good, but what gets you through your hardest days? I know people are probably, like, a lot of people listen to ASMR because, anxiety, stress. What's, like, some little things that gets you through your hardest days? It can be anything.
Yeah. So for me personally, when I'm going through a hard time, I really struggle with stress and, like, overthinking and...
Same. A lot.
Yeah, so I get overwhelmed kind of easily, so that, obviously it depends on, like, what the circumstance is. Like, is there a circumstance, or is it just, like, a feeling, because sometimes there's no explanation. explanation for why people feel the way they do.
True.
So it depends, but if something actually happened that is causing me to feel stressed, like one of the first things I will do is kind of try and first of all get myself like present and in the moment. So whether that's through like meditation or just like putting my phone away, like getting the outside world out of my like space so I have time to like come back to myself, because
that's a good one.
Because like when you're just constantly distracted by the outside world, it's hard to get in touch with your truth and like what is really true and what is like the illusion,
Yeah.
So I like to separate myself from the illusion, the everyday life.
Yeah.
Come back to myself and just look at it as objectively as possible and say, okay, like what is really happening right now? Let's say there's a lot going on in my mind. I will like journal down like what is everything that I'm feeling right now, and I will like release it. And that's really important because a lot of people, you feel uncomfortable emotions and like you're just trying to do everything you can to like not feel that uncomfortable emotion.
Yeah.
So you run from it. You go to instant gratification, whether that is food or with drugs or with just going on your phone. Like phone is literally can be like an addiction because you're just distracting yourself from what's happening and just literally bandaging it up with like a distraction, and that's so easy to do. And I'm not saying I'm perfect because I definitely
everyone does.
Yeah, don't get that twisted. Like I definitely get in that, but like if I'm being conscious and like good about healing, then I'll separate myself, and then
that's a great idea.
And then I will just like I said, look at it objectively, what's actually happening in my life. Usually once I write it all out, I'm like, okay, like I'm not dying, I am safe, my family is safe, and once again, of course it depends on like what's happening in your life. Like that's not going to be like related to everything, but if it's just like every day, I'm down, whatever, then that's usually what I will do. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, this is something that can be fixed. Like I'll try to be as objective as possible and say like, okay, like what are some things I can do to get myself out of this, and just kind of giving myself that like bigger picture perspective, like letting it out on paper, letting it out like vocally, whatever, however you release that like energy. Just like letting it out, it really helps you just see what's going on, and just feeling really helps to release and just like
and separate yourself from it. Yeah, that's amazing. Which is a great lead into the next question. What's your favorite spiritual practice? You don't have to pick one, like certain spiritual practices that you do, because you just said journal.
Yeah, I was gonna say journaling.
Yeah, because that's how it gets you through your hardest times and everything. So
I've always been like a writer, and just like
me too.
I think that's like my biggest form of releasing is through writing.
The
Also
same way.
Through words as well. I love to sing and stuff too. But journal, I don't know.
Check out her content, by the way. Links in description, like all of her stuff, so you can hear her sing too. Because you have TikToks, right?
Oh yeah, I do. I would love to make some more.
Yeah, you really should.
Singing stuff. Hopefully, like by the end of this year, I'll be able to have more time and resources to be able to do so.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what was I saying?
Writing is your biggest release.
Yeah, writing is my favorite.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you like meditating too.
Yeah, that's more of a actually recent thing. Like I've always like no, like you should meditate. But
me too. But I was like,
everyone in the spiritual community is like meditate. But I realize like meditating is just like being present, and like whatever form that is for you, like is perfectly fine. Like a lot of times, I like go to my meditation room and like okay, like I'll sit in complete silence for like a few minutes, but then I'm like, I want to journal. I want to release my thoughts into paper, and like that's usually what I end up doing.
That's perfect.
And I consider that meditation.
It's okay. That is like a meditation, because I have this waking up app, and he says that meditation isn't just a formal practice, it's every second. It's right now. Like this can be considered.
In the flow.
Yeah. And just being here right now, like that is meditation. Life is a meditation.
Yes, love that.
I resonate to those spiritual practices as well a lot.
I love that. Yeah.
Alright, so you can answer this or you can not, but what do you feel the purpose to life is? Including for yourself. What's your purpose? That's kind of a big question.
I'm going to think about that for 1 minute.
Okay, sounds good. Do you want me to ask you a different question, or you want to think?
What is the purpose of life? Is the question.
It can be actually, like I would say, for example, my purpose is to help people, or or something along those lines. Like, what do you feel like your soul's
My
purpose?
personal purpose.
Yeah. And you can also not, I mean, that's a huge question.
I feel like I have many purposes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good answer.
Yeah, but
honestly.
I mean, of course, I feel like one of the biggest is to bring light into this world in whatever form that takes. So whether that is through voice, whether that is through my words, whether that is through my videos or my content, or helping people with my coaching, or through, helping people in their businesses, or just talking to a friend,
Yeah.
I think that, like, on a micro and a macro level, it's my purpose to just help bring light and just share my perspective, which may be triggering for some, maybe, whatever.
Yeah.
But just sharing my voice with the world, I feel like it's important.
I love that. That is a great answer, and that's very simple, because it's so simple, it's complex,
Yeah.
Many different forms of light.
Yeah, like, of course I could, like, say different things.
Yeah.
I feel like that's, like, the underlying, like, thing.
Yeah, I love that so
Bringing
much.
light. Not being the source of darkness, like, being the source of light.
And constantly giving that in different ways to people. I love that. This is the last question. Wait, say it.
I was just gonna say, like, also just, like, I feel like, people can get so caught up in, like, what is my purpose, and, like, I have to be, like, perfect, or I have to be, like, I have to do XYZ in my life to be, like, to do my purpose.
Yeah.
But I also think that, like, your purpose can be just existing in the moment, and, like,
yes.
and just, like, being there for the people that you love, because, like, at the end of the day, when you're, like, 100 years old on your deathbed, like, you're gonna remember, like, the relationships that you had in your life, the experiences, and the people that you spent your time with.
Yes.
So, like, people, like, just, like, being there for the people that are close to you in your life,
Yeah.
is, like, very important.
I love that. Just experiencing with them. Just experience. Have fun in the process.
Yeah.
Like, I think spirituality, people get serious. I've gotten serious, It's a theme. But it's like, have fun.
Yeah, so I feel like also being present in the moment is, like, actually living. Like, if you're constantly, like, go, like, your life just passes you by, and you're like, well, what did I even do? What even happened?
Yeah.
But when you're, like, fully being and, like, embodying life itself, and, like, being there for life, like, you're actually living
Yeah.
your life.
You're here. That makes sense. I love that. I notice myself on the go as I get older. Life seems to be going by so fast,
Yeah.
which I don't like. I want to slow it down. So I feel like I need to start doing that to be more here.
As long as you're always here, like, what is time?
You're right.
Time is just right here.
Time is so fake. It's so fake.
Time is always just happening now.
Yeah, and every moment, the next moment, is still here.
Yeah.
Alright.
Quick lip gloss intermission. You can ask the question while I apply.
Okay. I like the sound of it too.
Yeah.
So the question is, and these are two questions in one, because I wanted to end it off on this note. I wanted to say, what are your biggest lessons you've learned in life? You don't have to say so many, maybe just 2 or 1. But just say 1 actually, maybe. Because the question combined is, number 1, advice you'd give someone. What do you want to leave it off to the viewer? Like, the advice that you just want to say to them. The message, a lesson that you've learned. And what do you want to, what would you say?
Yeah.
That
So,
is-
what's the biggest lesson I've learned, and what do I want to leave off with?
your biggest lesson, biggest advice. I think those go hand in hand, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, again, what's the biggest lesson is, like, kind of a scary question, so I'm just gonna say
that's
the first
very
thing. I'm just gonna say the first thing
Intuition,
that came into my mind.
Okay.
And that is about, like, loving yourself. So there's a lot of, self-love things out there.
Yeah.
And, everyone has, like, things that worked for them, but something that just, like, recently actually came up for me was, for a long time I struggled with, like, my self-image and my body image and my just physical appearance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of came to this, like, realization that, like, it may sound simple, honestly, but, like, when things just, like, hit different.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, you are going to be you, like, regardless. Like, this is your life. Like, this is what's happening in your life. This is your circumstance. This is your appearance. Like, whatever it is, like, it just is. It just is the way it is. So it's like you can either go your entire life, like, fighting against that and hating yourself like sucks and why do I keep a track, like, rather than just saying like, okay, this is what is, like, and just being like, I accept all parts of me, I accept that this is happening, I accept that I look like this, like, because you're gonna look like that regardless of whether you hate or love yourself. Like, you just are yourself no matter what. Do you know what I mean?
Damn. Yeah, you can't change, like, or no, I mean, you can change, but you can't change who you are.
Yeah, like, you, like, it's just like you're torturing yourself.
Literally, so
like,
much resistance.
Yeah,
too.
like, and then if you work on like healing that and you know, diving into really just shifting that perspective, which obviously is easier said than done, but it's just like a little perspective shift.
Yeah.
Like, your energy also will come off so different, you know? Like, it's not like, life is not just about physical appearance, it's about energy, it's about like just so much, you know?
I love that. I need to be hearing that right now too. I love that so much. And it's about the energy behind everything. It's not our physical selves, like, and we can't get out of it.
Yeah.
So there comes a point where you can't resist any longer. Like, too much pain. Like, you have to surrender to who you are, the way that you are.
And you get to decide like what you want to feel and how you want your life to be.
Yeah.
And
where you want to go from there. I love that.
And that goes for your life circumstances as well. Like, you know, XYZ is happening in my life right now. Like, most people, it's just, we're just gonna be like, oh, you know, why me? Why this? Why that? I don't deserve this. I didn't, you know. But it's not gonna change the fact that this is happening right now.
Literally.
And I'm not saying don't feel, you know, feel the feels.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, have that awareness, like, this is happening. Okay. Accepting. What can I do next?
Yes. That is great advice. And that is very good to, like, leave it off there. Because it's like, okay, now what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do?
I feel like, that was a great way to end it off. Like, ask yourself, like, if you're going through something right now and you're in a position where, like, you're trying to fight against it, kind of fighting against the current reality, constantly trying to change, like, where you're at and be somewhere else. Just ask yourself, like, or just first of all come to acceptance with where you're at. Face it, you know, say, okay, I'm here. You know, this is who I am. This is where I'm at. This is what's happening. How can I work on either just maybe you're not at the place of like, how can I love this yet, but like, how can I just accept it? How can I just be like,
cool. Accepting
I'm
and love different.
Yeah, accepting and love is different.
Yeah, that's really cool. I never like viewed it that way either.
And I think that it's like in that order too. Like, first comes acceptance, and then once you accept it, then you can work on loving it.
Yeah.
Because if you're working on like
loving
while
hating it.
Well, yeah, if you love it, start loving it first. It's like a band-aid almost.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
facing it.
Yeah, I know this video is long, but
it's okay.
If people are still watching, like, it's almost like when I was like, I'm on my weight loss journey, and it's almost like I could like overcompensate, like, by being like, oh my god, I love my body, you know, I just like, you know, I love it even when I like don't. I realized like that wasn't working for me, so I had to first say like,
for me either.
I first had to look at myself and be like, okay, like, this is where I'm at. I don't absolutely love where I'm at, but this is where I'm at. So like, I can either love myself or hate myself. So like, from there I came to like acceptance.
Because there's no point in hating yourself. There's no point.
So once I came to that acceptance, I'm like, it's like me accepting it like, me hating it is not going to change anything. You know, so me just accepting it was like, okay, like, I'm in a neutral position now. Like, what can I do next to like treat my body with love, to like get myself to a place where I do really love my body? And obviously it's not just physical, it's very mental. And like, I'm aware of that, and I'm on my journey and all that. But I just wanted to say that.
That is perfect. Neutralizing it. And then loving it.
Yes.
Wow. I loved everything that you said. It was so perfect. And isn't she the best? Like, you are the best speaker. You are the most wise person I've ever met. Truly, like, you are in a flow. Like, she is great. So, coaching program in the description. Alright, well, we love to go because my camera is dying.
Yes.
So, I love you so much.
I love you so much. Wow, I feel like we're very close now.
I know, right? So, links in description to find her. Okay? She's great. And I love you so much. And I hope to see you again soon. You'll see her again soon, too.
Bye, guys. Love you. Comment down below if you want me to come back.
Yes.
And Yes, at your